people that work for her for a short period of time may not see this because first impressions are always like over acted, and especially if there's cameras around. That's why our first impression on the TV show that we filmed was very, it was all sunshine and rainbows. But once the cameras went away and once we've been with her for a while, it slowly and like deeply declined. um
Ariana,
in
does
in
this hurt more because this is someone that you have looked up to for such a long time?
It does hurt more. It does hurt more. And because I do look up to her, or I did look up, I look up to the fact that she was using her platform to address issues that other artists weren't doing. But knowing her now, um, it was performative.
Welcome back to Real Talk Corner in the building. I'm your host, Ariana, the quantum healer, and my co-host, Sabrina Williams. What's up? We got some goodies for you today. We got some shenanigans.
Hey,
Have you seen the stuff on Lizzo popping up?
I have.
Okay.
I seen a little bit of a little bit. I think it was on Instagram. I think it was the Shade Room or something. And I did read a little bit about the girls or whatever that is coming
Okay.
out now.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because Lizzo is my girl. Well, she was anyway.
I know,
And
me too.
I've been someone who has attempted to um attempted to kind of support her and be like someone, because I'm a big girl too, so a lot of her attacks, a lot of her stuff kind of hits me in a way. So I've been someone who's been like, man, leave that girl alone. But we've also talked about Lizzo before, where of course just there's a difference between we've talked about just the body image, that like loving yourself, but there's a difference from loving yourself and promoting like diabetes and all this shit that people have talked about. So now she's got dancers coming out like saying all these horrific ass stories about her, and they're suing her. There's a couple of them suing her that she's been fat shaming to them, and it's just like, really, Lizzo? Like,
I
are
don't
we?
know. It's so I'm so like because I read it. I read their things.
Mhm.
I it's weird to me. I'm not gonna say she didn't do it because I don't know. But like you
Right,
said, it's kind of unbelievable to think that she would do something like that because
right,
of, and it's funny because I was talking to my daughter about that. I was like, dang, if she was, that's messed up because we have seen so many of her videos where she's
right.
crying because of social media, because they're talking about her weight and stuff. But then it's like, I was reading some other stuff, and they made some points like with the girls and stuff. It's like
Right.
now everybody's coming out. Then I seen one with this girl who's like, oh, she stole her man, and it's
I saw
like,
that one.
yeah. So it's like, come on, like, what are you like? So to me, now it feels like, are you really telling the truth, or you just trying to cash out on this girl?
Right.
You know
We're
what I mean? Because now
yeah.
it's like now you want to talk about a dude she done stole from
Right.
you. You
Right.
posted pictures, like, you know what I mean? And then they're like, I think one of the dancers was like something about like sexual harassment,
Right.
and so
Well, yeah.
I'm like,
We're gonna watch some of it because it is like, are you serious? But again, we don't know these people. We see them, we we see what they want us to see. We really do not know these people to be like, I know Lizzo wouldn't say, you know what I mean? It's
right,
kind of
right,
like,
right,
really,
right,
bitch, I don't know what your ass would fucking do. I would hope that you are not
right,
degrading
exactly.
these girls. And a lot of people did say that, like, why are all of them coming out now? And I did, the one of the points about it is, though, these are big girls that are dancers. How many people are hiring them? You know what I mean? If you look at
Hmm.
videos and stuff, how many people are truly hiring big
Hmm.
dancers?
Hmm.
So if you put yourself in those shoes when you're like, am I going to deal with this person or keep my job and make this money? Sometimes you have to make those decisions, which are going to go against maybe what you would like. Like, damn, if I, speak up, I'm fired. And from what a lot of people are saying is she's very arrogant and mean, which again, we don't fucking know her.
Right, right,
We don't have no, she shows us what she wants us to see on her social media. And with
right.
that crying like she's a victim, I don't know, narcissism.
No, it's true, and that was my biggest thing. I'm like, damn, if she has been, that's some real fucked up shit because she should know, firsthand
Right,
what it feels like. But back to like I said, hurt people, and we don't know if she does have some type of something that she's never healed. So we
right,
don't know. And then it's like to me, even with the girls, because your point I get your point of saying, they don't hire them much. So, but then it's like, okay, and if they don't hire you much, and Lizzo these decides to fire you, you fucked up. So, are you trying to cash out so you can be secure?
right. Depending on what's happened, one of the stories that they talked about was like Lewis and Lizzo was on some podcast talk about how she wanted to go see where they have like you could eat a banana out of
Yeah, yeah,
somebody's
I did see
vagina or
that.
some shit. And like I guess, when people have entourages and shit like that, you have to be the one to say, that's not my cup of tea. I'm sorry, Lizzo. Not just yeah, we rolling and we hype and we vibing, even though
Mm-hmm.
my ass don't want to do this shit. And I
Right.
think a lot of them were on it with her, even though they were uncomfortable. Whatever the fuck is going on, you just rolling because you're hyped, you're in it. And I think I don't look at them as really victims because I feel like it's one of those things where when you should have spoke up, you probably
I was
didn't.
just about to
You
say
know what I
that.
mean? You're probably sitting here like, oh, I'm really uncomfortable, but this is Lizzo and I'm getting paid. You know what I mean? So I'm just go with the flow, and it never ends well.
It doesn't,
So
because I mean, you can't say, you didn't like the way she came at you or the things she would say, like they said like sexual harassment, little things she would
right,
say. Okay, but if the first time she said it, you didn't check her on it, how does she even know that you're uncomfortable? She may
right,
think, like you said, she may think you down with it. If you're he and key and after she done said something
mm,
sexual to you, how would she know that you were offended, or how would she know that you really don't get down unless you say something?
right. But my only other part with that is like there really isn't a time frame of stepping up. Like we would hope that when some shit happened, you would just be able to handle it right then and there and say something. But I know fear is a bitch. And fear coming over, fear of your job, fear of this, fear of what they're gonna say because it's you against somebody who's in power, kind of, that authoritative kind of thing, someone who is in power over you. So again, it could be that also where it was just like, I'm gonna just sit here and go with it versus speaking up. And I think the other girls started to speak up when they seen the first girl, then it was the kind
Hmm.
of that thing like, oh, well, she's telling, okay, I can tell too. So we'll watch how they see and see if we get a vibe on if they lying or not. I don't know. Again, I love Lizzo. I did at least. I'm gonna have to do some tarot. She's gonna be on my celebrity tarot next. I'm gonna
Right.
have to pull
It's
some
like
tarot.
to me, I just think like in that situation, like you said, I think I would have to see it play out because
Right.
we all know if you did come across and she did say something you didn't like, you would at least tell your best friend, you would tell somebody in your family, you know what I
Right.
mean? So where maybe somebody could confirm that she has
Right.
said this or something like that. Because to me, we also do know that these celebrities also do get targeted because a
Yeah.
lot of the times they don't want to go to court. Their lawyer advises them to not go to court and to
Right.
settle and to give them a check. So some of
Right.
these are just looking for a check. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so it's like and it's sad because especially, if this was your team and now you're
Right.
like, dang, but we all know when it comes to money, some people would throw their mama under the bus for money.
Real shit though. Real shit. Like we would hope that somebody would be like, "Oh no," and nope, but we know people will do anything for money. And so
Exactly, especially
again,
even if they know, as a celebrity, I'm sure they get that feeling like,
right.
damn, I I don't I want to fire this person, but I don't know if they're going, you know what I mean?
Right.
So you know, who's to say that maybe they had words? Who's to
Right.
say maybe it was a rumor she was about to let her go? And it goes
Right.
back to what kind of you said. We all know Lizzo was the one who gave them an opportunity. Who's gonna give you that opportunity again? So where you're gonna be making what you was making as one of her dancers. So
Right.
what better way than, and again, like I said, we all know like these lawyers tell they clients, let's settle, let's not even go to court,
Right.
and now they do get a quick, $100,000 just for settling, and then they like,
Right.
well, she just did it. That doesn't mean she's guilty. A lot of the times the lawyer is advising them, let's not go to court, because you know what I mean.
Right. Because
It
it's
can
gonna be
stop
bad
concert.
and
Yeah, it can
yeah.
stop her, doing
Right.
concerts. It can stop. So and they may know that, because you have to think about it. If they're close to you, they kind of know how things work.
Right. 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 Right.
So it's
Yeah.
it's it's sad. It's really, to me, it's sad. If it's sad on both ends. It's sad if
Right.
she was doing it to her dancers, and it's sad if she didn't, and they're just coming at her as
Right.
as a woman. You're a woman first, so it's gonna be
Right.
sad on both ends.
It is. It makes you think like, is this really like this is the real Lizzo finally coming out? You know what I mean? Or are these girls just popping out of the woodworks for whatever fucking reason? It will come out, and we'll follow the story, of course, if anything
Hmm.
changes. But I didn't really watch these. I just saved them so we could watch them and just kind of so I can get the feel of what they're saying. But I'm definitely gonna do this on the celebrity tarot and and see who lying and who telling the truth, because again, like one of the things doing the celebrity tarot is kind of opened up my mind on people that we assume shit, and that's not the story. And I'm like,
Hmm.
damn, we be assuming a lot of shit. Like one person says this and people just jump on the train.
Hmm.
And there's so many layers to this life that we just can't sit and assume that this person's right, that person's wrong, or
Hmm.
this, that, and the third, because there's so much underlining stuff. And so, yeah, definitely gonna do it and see, because I'm interested to know people that are really, changing or switching or all in the to the satanic and shit. I'm definitely not following them, not buying their shit, not none of that, because I think you have to. The power is in our money. And when we find out that these people are doing certain things, we got to stop. We got to stop putting money into them. If
Hmm.
Lizzo is shitty, we need to like stop. No, if this comes out that this is what she really does, and this is the person,
Exactly.
we got to
Hmm.
stop putting money into people like this. Like, why are we supporting them? Because they will not change unless they feel it. They feel it
Hmm.
like, oh shit, I fucked up. I need to change. And
Right.
most people are getting canceled on dumb shit. We need to cancel people on real shit. Like, we need
Exactly.
to like make those moves when it's really stuff like this that's hate, that's demeaning and stuff like this. So if it really is true that it comes out, definitely y'all go check out when I do the celebrity tarot. But I won't support her no more, because I've been someone who's really tried to support her
Me
in in
too.
in life, because I do that especially when I see big girls going through it, because we get a lot of slack, we get a lot of issues, we get a lot of people that just judge us, don't know us, don't know our history, don't know the health, don't know any of that shit, and you
Hmm.
just get judged on so many levels. And so I've been someone who's really wanted, just been that supportive, team Lizzo. But I don't do disrespect, y'all. And I don't support people who are disrespectful and demeaning and hurtful to others. I don't give a fuck what your story is. I got trauma too, but I'm not mean,
Exactly.
you know. So I feel like, well, I don't give a fuck how much money you got. Learn how to treat people. You always
Hmm.
hear the story of someone who's a CEO, but doesn't demean the janitor, because they
Hmm.
understand what that janitor represents in their company. So, and I feel like someone that goes a character, right? Your character on how you talk to people. And so no one is beneath you. And so once you get that shit in your head, like, and a lot of these stars do, they get money and
Hmm.
all of a sudden they just, man, wilding out. Like, wait, hold up. Look, come back down to reality.
Right. Like,
You are
you're
a
human
human,
too. Like, you're not
just
you're
like
not
me.
above, like, you're human.
Come back down to reality, y'all.
Hmm.
Well, just moments ago, Liz Lizzo broke her silence on the lawsuit filed against her by 3 of her former dancers who claim they were subjected to a hostile work environment and harassment. The complaint also naming her production company and the captain of her dance team. And it says that the dancers were, quote, exposed to an overtly sexual atmosphere that permeated their workplace, which included outings where nudity and sexuality were a focal point. The suit also alleges, among other things, that Lizzo called out one of the plaintiffs for her weight gain after accusing the dancer of not being committed to her role. Lizzo is known, of course, for her uplifting messages and advocacy for body positivity.
I'm not going to be able to please everybody with my outward appearance. Someone's always going to have a critique. Someone's always going to have some negativity to say about me. So all that matters is what I think about it.
Now, after what had been a notably lengthy silence this morning, Lizzo responded to the lawsuit on Instagram, writing, in part, "The sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional. I take my music and my performances seriously because at the end of the day, I only want to put out the best art that represents me and my fans. With passion comes hard work and high standards." Joining us now are the 3 dancers, Crystal Williams, Ariana Davis, and Noel Rodriguez, along with their attorney.
What'd you say?
I didn't see her statement. So to me, it kind of makes sense of kind of what I was already kind of feeling. If she already had told them they need to get their act together, to me, they could have known they was about to get fired. So again, back to the point you made, because I never even really thought about it, but the point you made of being honest, who's gonna hire them? You know what I mean? So it's like, if you know you're not gonna get that opportunity that Lizzo did give you, and you know you about to get fired because she already done kind of, told you, get your shit together, whatever, this, that, and the third. To me, see that if that conversation really did happen, to me it makes sense. So it's now motive. It's like, it's now like, you know what, I'm gonna get her because I'm gonna be out of a job and not gonna be able to live my lifestyle that I was living as one of Lizzo's dancers. So
it's definitely motive. They definitely have motive to do this. Like, I'm not denying it at all. They definitely got motive to be like, she already getting it, and like, And then when you look at them, like, to me, they're not excessively overweight. So, but I understand there's all different sides. Lizzo's definitely bigger than these girls that is on here. So it's hard to imagine someone doing that and going off on them about their weight and trying to say they're not committed to what if they're all big girls. Like, that's the part where I'm like, you're not committed to what? What part? Do they have to be different sizes? Do they have to fall into different brackets? Like, there's so much that's not being said. It's kind of like, what are we talking about here? Because I'm not understanding.
But even in that sense, I mean, that's just like if like with her, all her dancers are basically bigger girls, plus size women. That's what she promotes, the fact that her dancers are plus size women. So, I mean, to me, it would make some sense, though, if one of them was to have surgery and become skinny or get skinny. You no longer fit her criteria of her dancer. So, to me, I mean, I can see the point if maybe someone is losing weight and it's like, okay, but my brand is for bigger women. You now not fitting that. You know what I mean? So I can see, I mean, if it was me, I can see that. Like, and again, we all know that they have contracts. They know what they're signing up for and things like this. So I'm sure if it was in there that said you probably can't go below a certain weight because you're no longer going to be considered a plus size dancer. And that's my brand. That's what I promote. You know what I mean? So we kind of, I don't know if that could have been the situation. Because we can love our bodies today and love our thickness today. And tomorrow we'll be like, you know what? I'm going to go get surgery. I don't love this no more.
Right. I mean, in some of that, after like extensive dancing and shit, you're gonna lose some weight regardless of what's going on.
Exactly.
You're not gonna be the same weight you started out with, no matter what. Like, we all know that as soon as you start getting active like that and dancing and the shit that they be doing, no, you're gonna lose
that
some
is
of
so
that weight.
true.
And it would be like So are you like demeaning me because I lost some weight? Like now it's a problem. I lost some weight.
Which to me, like, it's like, I mean, even if she did say something, I mean, I wouldn't take it as demeaning, because I know my thing would be like, if I'm like, girl, you getting skinny up in here, knowing that you
Right.
represent big girls. You
Right.
cannot be a skinny chick. You
Right.
know what I mean? If that's the case, then I wouldn't be able to use you, because
Right.
my dances are bigger women. This is what
Right.
I stand for. This is what I try to showcase. So to
Right.
me, I don't think that would be demeaning if she was to have
No.
said something like, "Girl, you getting skinny on me," you know what I mean? Or,
Right.
"Girl, you better put on some pounds." And
Right.
again, like, to me, I think on a celebrity end, it's sad because they have to watch what they say, because
Right.
any little thing they say, they can take it to a lawsuit. You know
Right.
what I mean? That's just like when
Right.
these celebrities is out and people are antagonizing them to hit them on purpose, because
Right.
they know they can sue them. They know they're gonna get a quick 20 grand, you know, that they're not gonna take it, and they purposely will do it. See a celebrity out. I've done seen it, especially like at basketball games. They do it a lot with the basketball players. They
Right.
be at the games, and a fan purposely would throw something at them or do something
Right.
so they can react, and then
Right.
there goes a lawsuit, because
Right.
they're the ones with the money, and that's just a quick come up for them.
That's true. You got a point though on it, because even there are people who get fired for being skinny, for being, I mean, like being in a certain weight bracket. Like they got to be in a certain weight bracket. They can't be over that. Like there's ones that have to be skinny and that you get over it. So it might be in the contract though. They might, a lot of people sign shit and don't even pay attention to what they're signing. And so it could have been in the contract, like you gotta stay at this certain weight. We don't know, and it is because entertainment is entertainment. If what they're looking for, you aren't it anymore, then you don't fit it. So I don't see
Exactly.
how that would be demeaning unless she's doing it in some other way. Because yeah, if you're just simply saying like, look, you're not what I promote, then that's different because you're going based on that. So it really depends on what
So
she
it's so
said.
sad, because it's like her word against theirs.
True.
Because it could have been something so simple as her saying something like that, like, "Girl, you
Right.
losing weight on me," and then now them saying, "Well, I'm gonna get a lawyer
Right.
because I think she," you know what I mean? Because
Right.
again,
Right.
everybody's trying to get that come up. Everybody's trying to see how they can make a quick buck without not doing nothing.
Right. We gonna see what they say. I hope not, y'all.
Ron Zambrano. Crystal, I want to start with you. The response that you have to the response from Lizzo after the silence for a pretty extended period of time.
Yeah, I want to say that reading it just kind of furthered my like disappointment in regards to the situation, just because the facts are the facts. What we experienced and what we witnessed is absolutely what happened. There's nothing sensationalized about it. So all that I can hope is that people focus more so on the facts rather than the court of public opinion.
Ariana, at what point did you realize that what you were experiencing, what you led you experienced, was not normal?
It's hard to answer that question, because as this was my first professional job, I was told by the dance captain, and just it's this thing in the dance industry that you have to shut up and take whatever you get and just be grateful for whatever crumbs you get as a dancer. So a lot of things that were going on, it took me a really long time to figure out that it was wrong. It took me actually until leaving the camp that I figured out that everything that went on was bad, because I just chalked it up to, oh, Lizzo might be a diva, or, this is just the industry. This is what we go through. I mean, I think that I had inklings. Like, I would be on the phone with my mom all day and be like just complaining about the disrespect and the treatment and the humiliation. I mean, me personally, looking at the response from Lizzo was so disheartening, because she was there She was there. And to fix your hand to write on a piece of paper that you that you discredit everything we're saying is incredibly frustrating. The facts are the facts, like Crystal said. Was I pressured to touch a new performer? Yes. Was I brought into a private meeting where I was kind of interrogated about my personal matters and ended up having to share very personal things about myself regarding my weight? Yes. What I mean, the list goes on. Were we pressured to do an excruciatingly long rehearsal that turned into a re-audition for the job that we already booked because apparently we weren't doing good enough? Yes, that is true. During that
I do feel being a newbie in her industry is what is a big, like some of the biggest thing, because you will hear this from not just, overweight dancers. You'll hear this from other dancers of how it is a crazy dynamic in entertainment, period.
Mm-hmm.
The entertainment business, period. They do treat people ridiculous. The audition process is ridiculous. You have people that are there 12 hours, 16 hours dancing and over and over to get these parts. So that's not that it's not normal. I think people just don't talk about it. You know what I mean? Like it's not that.
But I think that's where, because I see, it's funny that I see who it is because I didn't pay attention who were the ones filing suit. I seen Lizzo's show when they were there auditioning to become one of her dancers.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that show made me cry. I cried my eyes
Aw.
out that show. And
Yeah.
it's sad to see them up there, especially the one in the pink, because she was so excited. And
Mm.
it's like, to me, I personally, and this is just me, my opinion, I think it's about money. Like the one in the red, she did not make the cut. So my thing is, now you want to speak up because we all know, the lawyers know, the more people who speak up, the more it looks
Mm.
true. So it's like, okay, if everybody now starts coming out, this now looks like, so, because my thing is this, the girl in the red, why didn't you speak up before if you didn't get cut? I mean, you got cut. So now, obviously, you probably like, now I'm going to take the opportunity. The one in the
Mhm.
pink, like I said, she was the dancer. Even the one, it's sad because to me, that's what I'm feeling. And that's just like, my intuition is telling me they're trying to
Mhm.
make some money off of the situation. And it's sad to me as women that you got to drag down another woman so you can get some money. Like, so you can, like, I don't know. It's just
Mhm.
like, because my thing is this, like you said, with the whole dancing thing, how can you blame her for making you go harder in auditions when she's the
Right.
star? Like, if that's the way she wants her shit to look legit and she wanted to be on point, and I mean,
Right.
a lot of singers, rappers there are like that. You gonna
Right.
have to do it
Right.
till you're fucking blue in the face, but you know
Right.
what you signed up for. Now
Right.
that you can't cut it and you probably can't keep up, now you want to talk about it. Like, my thing is this:
Right.
you do, like you said, sometimes they do rehearse 12 hours, 15
Mhm.
hours, and as dancers, you have that choice. You say, is
Right.
this what I'm cut out to do, or this is not what I'm cut out?
Right.
But don't, after the fact, now you want to bring up that you guys had to rehearse 12, 15. Like you said, that's the norm. To
Right.
me,
I was
I
like,
don't see no
have y'all
shit.
seen J Lo? And have y'all seen J Lo's practices?
You know
It
what I
like
mean? A
anybody
lot of
who
them are like
dances.
that.
Yeah.
They want their shows, they want
Right.
their concert, because this is them. If they
Right.
look sloppy, if they are out of
Right.
routine, this is their career. They can
Right.
lose their career behind that type of stuff. So my
Right.
thing is this: if you realize that it ain't for you, and maybe it's not for you, you a bigger girl. So doing 12, 15 hours, that's probably gonna take a toll on your body.
Oh
But that's
yeah.
when you have to say to yourself, am I cut out for this or I'm not?
Right. Like I said, I don't know necessarily that I think she's just doing it for money. Maybe, I don't know, but I do feel that she's inexperienced. You know what I mean? I feel she's very inexperienced, and her jumping on this the first time, she jumped in not even realizing what all was going to be expected of her. And now she's got this kind of like, you're mad at what's happened. Like, I'm not talking about any disrespect, because again, I don't do disrespect, but I ain't trying to work with the fucking stars. And we all know that we can go down the list. You look at Beyonce, Mariah Carey,
Mhm.
all of them
I'm sure it
are
can be very nasty, very rude,
right,
could be very, you know what I mean? But
right,
to me, it goes back to choices. You
right,
chose to stay, or now you want to speak up because somebody else spoke up, and now you want to
right,
jump on a wagon and try to get a couple of dollars. Because to me,
right.
that's what it sounds like. Like I said, I seen the show, and even she has a transgender dancer, and
Mm,
that transgender dancer is still her dancer to this day, because I seen one of her concerts on TV the other day. And in the rehearsal in the show, she was making her fucking work. She was
right,
making her do it over again, because she was like a bigger woman, tall,
right,
they all chunky. So she was
right,
tall, and and she couldn't dance really well. And
right,
she was making her do it, and she wound up picking her. That was one of
right,
the moments I cried, because she was so excited. That lady was
right,
so excited. So you know what I mean? So my thing is this, y'all know what y'all had to do. My thing is, oh, now you are the dancer. Now you don't want to go as hard.
right.
Like,
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I feel like she's inexperienced. So I don't think she was ready for what came with it. You know what I mean? I don't think she was ready for that. I don't think she stepped in and then she just kind of like, oh, I didn't know this is the way it is. And I do think that she believes that. She believes that because she was inexperienced. But again, like I said, I've watched J-Lo's, she's had shows where she does the shit with dancers and she's on them, like on them. I've seen Beyonce, some of her rehearsal shit. She's another one that's very particular at what they do. So again, for me, that is actually a industry standard. It is a standard. They are perfectionists on a lot of
exactly.
these things, big girl or not. If it was I'm a
Yeah.
perfectionist. I know I would be like, no, you, you got
No,
to
it's
do
true.
this
And I
step
mean,
right.
that's their career. I mean, today they can
Right,
be hot. Tomorrow they could be not hot. So, I mean, if
right,
they're
right,
pushing their dancers, they band or whatever it is, especially
right,
she's known for her dances. People
right,
go to her concerts, they to watch the dances,
right,
because it's like, oh, they're bigger and they getting down. You know what I
right,
mean? So that's her thing. You know what I mean?
right,
So if I don't know, it just sounds to me like, I don't know. It's just, I think I'm kind of a little upset with it, because I feel like it's like you're a woman tearing down another woman. You know what I
right,
mean? If you didn't agree with how she spoke to you, or how rehearsal was, to me, bow out gracefully. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
Lizzo, I don't think this is for me, and walk away. My
right,
thing is this: don't want to drag her down now that all of you guys are fired, because none
right.
of them work for her. So it's funny how
Right.
none of them work for her now, and now y'all want to come out.
Right. I want to know more like, is this because again, like I said, some of it I don't agree with because again, I've seen other performers and I've seen them be harsh to skinny dancers and I've seen the shows where they fucking it's crazy. So again, not to say it's okay because again, we've seen a lot of these establishments being torn down, right? We've seen a lot of them being torn down from the standards of how they treat other people. Now, if these women are the ones that are like, you know what, we're about to make a change about how these fucking stars treat people and treat the people that work for them, I'm all for it because I do feel like a lot of them are divas and they do need to come off their fucking cloud of entertainment thinking that they, could just talk to anybody any kind of way. And some of them are fucking horribly rude and mean, and I don't know if is that in the contract to just be talked to. I couldn't do it. I look at a lot of them and ain't no way that I
Hmm.
could be talked to in the way that a lot of these people. So
And I
I'm
think that's
interested.
where the biggest thing is. To me, everybody has choices. So if
Right.
you choose to stay in that environment, you chose to stay in that environment. If you
Yeah.
felt that that was not for you, then to me, like I said, gracefully be like, or if it started getting a little harder, or you did not, because again,
Hmm.
they are divas. They are stuck in their ways. I mean, they're human. So they probably do
Right.
say some snappy shit when they motherfucking tired and they gotta do. So that's to me when you decide, do I stay in this environment because I don't like her attitude, or do
Mhm.
I leave?
Right.
My thing is this: speak up though, right then and there. Don't wait till you get fired and now want to come out. I noticed that they do that a lot with celebrities. It's when they get fired from the company or this, that, and the third. So you were
Mhm.
cool with it while you were down with the company. You were cool with it while you were getting that paycheck. But now they let you go. Now you want to go public and now you want to say this, that, and the third.
Mm.
See,
I
that's
mean,
the part that I really don't
yeah.
like when it comes
Yeah.
to, because then that to me sounds like, are you really just trying to get a check?
Yeah. I mean, I can understand that point, but like I said, I feel there's a lot of that people stay in situations even when they're uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like they'll stay for all the wrong reasons. We know a lot of people stay in situations for all the fucking wrong reasons. So I guess we'll kind of see how it plays out.
But
But
look, like you said, listen to what
right.
they're saying is the reason. They're not
Hmm.
saying, "Oh, she had us working for 24 hours. We couldn't pee, we couldn't eat, or I had to pee in a bucket." Or they're not saying that. You know what I mean? They're not saying nothing like you said that isn't the norm. They didn't
Right.
say nothing that wasn't the
Right.
norm. That you like, oh shit, damn, that was the conditions.
Again, that's why I hear her inexperience in what she's saying. She's very inexperienced. Like what? She wasn't ready for the life that she jumped into. And to her, it's like, oh, this is what they do. You know what I mean? Like this is how they treat people.
And then as far as like her personal with her health, my
Right.
thing is this: me as an artist, I would want to know, because if I see you and you're tired so much or you're not keeping up,
Hmm.
I do want to know what's going on. What's going
Right.
on? Is it a medical condition that
Right.
you know what I mean? Let me know so then I know what I need to do, or I may not
Right.
expect so much from you. And
Yeah, that's
that's
why I
to me
want to
another
know.
thing too.
I want to know more about that because it's a little bit vague right now. It's a little too vague on some of the stuff that they're saying. I want more details. You know.
um, excruciatingly long re-audition process. Was I under the impression that if I left the stage, I would be fired? Yes. Did I unfortunately go to the bathroom on myself on stage because I was so terrified? Yes. There is you in a court of law. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know anything, but I know that if you ask someone to tell the truth, these things will come out of her mouth. If you have to say yes or no to these questions, she has to say yes because they are true. There was multiple witnesses, and I don't appreciate the discredit of our feelings and our experiences and our traumas.
Understood. Joelle, you allege that Lizzo intended to hit you at one point after you. Sorry, Noelle, intended to hit you at one point after you resigned. Do you really think that she was going to resort or could resort to physical violence?
Yeah, I do. I do. And I mean, the facts of that were that she actually balled up her fist like this to me. She started cracking her knuckles, and she was like, "You're so effing lucky that basically I'm not going to hit you." And, you know, I was in shock watching her do that and cracking her knuckles and acting as if she was going to come out.
You didn't like how Lizzo is. Shit, do you talk about it? Bring up the awareness. But we're using this lawsuit, and I feel like it's because they're nobodies. So even if they were talking, who was going to
No
really
one's gonna
listen?
listen.
So now we got a lawsuit. Now people are talking. Now
Exactly.
people are
Yeah.
seeing us. And
Mm-hmm.
I think whoever got it in their head that this was going to be positive for them got the wrong information.
Exactly.
Like super wrong. I don't know who told you guys was super wrong information. I don't know how you thought this was going to be positive for you. And to say, I'm gonna leave it there, y'all. I'm gonna leave it there. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think about this shit. Cause man, as always, we got something to say.
All the time.
And that's why we do this shit, because we got something to say here on Real Talk Corner. Until next time, you guys. Bye.